So, Wolf, you're going to be opening the end tour here in Buffalo March 5th. What can people expect from the show?
Rock music where people aren't pretending stuff and having stuff come through as tracks like what used to like when you see us it's you're just seeing dudes play guitars and instruments and that's what you get.
Awesome. I know you released the end in October. What was like your inspiration behind it and just kind of how it came together? I know you did it all yourself. I mean, like there's obviously producers, and in terms of
Yeah.
instruments, you did it yourself.
Yeah, in terms of the performance and what you hear on the track on every Mammoth track from last three albums, it's all me. And yeah, the record it came about through a tumultuous sort of creative time. It was during the fires that were happening last year in Los Angeles. And so creatively, when I was writing the lyrics, it was amongst all of that happening. I think that's where just the sort of panic and I don't know, music is a really therapeutic thing for me. So I think I was working out a lot of stuff when writing lyrically. And so I think that's where sort of the end and just anxiety came through. But it also was almost self-referential to where the band was at the time, considering we were Mammoth WVH and then we got the copyright so we could drop the WVH and just be Mammoth. It was our first titled record. I think a lot of fans were expecting it to be Mammoth 3. And so giving it a title, it was just kind of like the end of the old, beginning of the new sort of thing.
And I was going to ask where the inspiration for the art came from, but given you saying about the fires, I'm guessing that contributed to it.
Certainly, it wasn't something made for the record. It was a piece by an artist on Instagram named Moon Patrol. Big fan of everything they do. And when I saw this piece, it just kind of struck me at a time. I was like, wow, this is like, I don't know, just I like how striking it is. There's not much going on, but it represents, I think, a lot of things
Hmm.
in many different ways. And I thought it was just the perfect really bold art statement. It was a different choice compared to the last two records. So I was really happy to make this change and have a really killer piece of art representing our big change.
Yeah, I think it looks sick, and I think in terms of everything it represents, I think it's a great encapsulation of all of that.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to get it as a tattoo. I want to get the fire guy. I think it's cool.
For sure. Now, as we talked about you playing the instruments in the studio, how is that different transitioning to the stage with the group?
I mean, we've been doing this since we've started playing live, so it's not really I think we've got it really, honed in and figured out now. People always joke around like, "Oh, do you ever play them or tell them they're playing it wrong or anything?" But I don't think I've ever actually said that once to them. They're incredibly talented and they figure it out perfectly. And if they, need a pointer, I'm happy to give it to them, but they don't ever need it. And it's just as long as we have a little bit of time before the first tour to really just kind of hone it in and get comfortable, that's all we need. And we did that last year before our first little run, and then now they'll get here in a week so we can get ready for the run, and we'll be good to go.
Nice. And do you have like a favorite song from the record or something that I guess is maybe favorite song to play even?
I think the title track, "The End," is a really exciting song. It's a very sort of crazy fun to play on guitar, and I think a lot of people tend to enjoy it. We play it near the end of the set, and so it's always a really fun, sort of energetic bump at the end.
Nice. And
No words.
you were also 2 years ago now, I think, maybe three. Uh, you played on "I'm Just Ken" from the Barbie
Yep.
soundtrack with Slash. Um, what was that like?
That was crazy. I had met Mark Ronson at the Taylor Hawkins tribute show.
Mm.
And he was super friendly. We hit it off, exchanging numbers, and we were super cool. And I had, we were just opening, we opened for Metallica for 2 years on their crazy 72 seasons world tour. And it was the first show where we flew out to Amsterdam to open for them. And that's when I had gotten hit up by Mark asking if I would play something for the movie he was working on. And so instead of going home from Amsterdam, I went to New York to visit him, and I worked with him for a whole day and just played a bunch of random stuff for certain scenes. He would explain it, and we would just come up with something. And it was I had never done anything like that before, and it was a really really fun experience. It was crazy to just be a part of something so culturally everywhere at the time, and then to be asked to perform it at the Oscars as well, which was a once in a lifetime experience. Considering also, I don't think they say they stopped doing like musical performances or something, which is
I
another that's
think they started cutting a lot of stuff. They started even doing some of the awards like at the pre-show or whatever.
yeah, that's
So,
dumb. That's dumb. So it
right,
was cool to, I guess, be on the last year where that where the performances as a whole were like a respected part of the process.
right. And I think
But
it was a great
yeah,
part of the process. Like it's the art being so meaningful, like celebrating art. It's not just
sure.
here's your award, it's a celebration, right? So,
Exactly. It's very important. So it was a really cool thing to be a part of.
and now as far as you've done some metal stuff, you've done some, rock, pop rock. Is there like a favorite subgenre that you prefer over, or do you just like to mix it up?
Well, I mean, when it comes to Mammoth's output of music, I think we kind of have this wide-reaching. I almost view it as like a spectrum, like we kind of have like core sounding Mammoth songs that might be like a song like Epiphany or You're to Blame or something like that. But then from on the far left side, you have like Distance or Waiting off the second record. But then all the way on the right, you have things like Stone or Optimist. And it's just fun to kind of have this umbrella where you can kind of explore a wide range of different stuff. I mean, in terms of what I enjoyed growing up, I listened to a lot of pop punk. I think Anima of the State by Blink-182 was like the first record I ever bought
Mhm.
like on my own because my mom would only let me buy the clean versions on iTunes. And so I snuck off after school to buy the explicit version of Anima of the State after school one day. And so Travis Barker was a really big inspiration in terms of drumming because I had started playing drums around that time. Uh, Also a big fan of Jimmy Eat World, which I think they don't get enough love for just how incredible of a band they are. I think people only really know them for the middle, at least people who casually don't really know, but they are a fantastic band and a big inspiration for me as well.
Awesome. Now, you talked about working with Mark Ronson earlier, and again, you doing a lot of the instrumental stuff yourself. You've collaborated with a lot of really like cool people as well. What's that like? I guess taking someone else's vision, um, going from making your own stuff.
I really enjoy it. I mean, I
Mm.
did the collaborative thing prior. I wrote with my dad. I was in Mark Tremonti's solo band. I had a band in high school that we wrote stuff together. So I certainly haven't not done that. Mammoth was like my own space to just kind of create on my own, and it just kind of snowballed into what it is now. But yeah, I definitely enjoy being in that supportive role. In fact, I've always wanted to kind of maybe it'd be fun to just like focus on being a drummer for like a thing. I enjoy playing the drums a lot, and so to not worry about singing or playing guitar would be a really fun thing to do, to just play drums for people.
Mhm.
Josh Freese style, be like, hey, you need you need drums on this record, I'll do it. But yeah, no, I enjoy collaborating just as much. I get a lot of that with my producer, Elvis Basquet. There is that, I might not be collaborating with people in the studio when it comes to people playing each instrument, but he's a very talented musician in his own right. And we have that collaborative effort when it comes to stuff in the studio.
Nice. And you mentioned your dad. I think about every time I go to a show and I'm looking down at the stage. There was a photo you posted in 2019 at a Tool concert.
Yeah.
I think about it every single show I go to. Like um it's very much like I wouldn't say like core memory because but it is. It's like locked
Yeah.
here. Every time I'm looking down at the stage, like if it's an arena show or a stadium show, I'm
Yeah.
just like Eddie taking a picture of some guy in front of the Tool stage.
One of the last like happy pre-COVID memories I think
Mhm.
I have. Yeah, that was and it was funny that people always misconstrue stuff. Like I took that picture because I thought it was funny. I loved it. Like it wasn't like a how dare you not recognize my dad
Right,
because my
right,
dad
right.
just looked like a dude, he wasn't wearing anything striped or anything. But yeah, I just thought it was so funny that just this dude who is like, hey, can you take a picture of me? And I don't know, it was just very fun, especially that was, just Tool is one of my favorite bands. So being able to go to share that with dad was really fun too.
And now, is there anything else that I haven't asked you about that you'd like the city of Buffalo to know ahead of your show?
No, I mean, we got that show coming up, got a new record, and it's just now that the record's out, it's time to tour until we can't.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Have a good day.
Have a good one.